Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to introduce our next guest, General Dr. Vijay Kumar Singh, who retired from the Armed Forces. Currently, he holds the portfolio, is the Honorable Union Minister of State, holding two portfolios, Civil Aviation, Road Transport and Highways. And previously, he has held multiple positions in various cabinet roles in external affairs, development of the northeastern region of India, in planning statistics, and overseas Indian affairs. A long career in the army that culminated as the 24th Chief of Staff. He then took on a change in the color of the uniform and continues as a member of the Indian Parliament from 2014. One thing common, I think, sir, between me as a doctor and you from the army are kind of fondness for operations. So apart from various military operations that he has been involved, he's also been involved in very many, I would consider path-breaking humanitarian missions. He was involved in 2015 in Operation Rahat that brought back not just Indians, but other neighborhood nationals who had to be evacuated from Yemen. 2016, sir was heading a mission and an operation that again called Sankat Mochan that brought Indians back from South Sudan. And in 2018, where he had to hunt and get back missing Indian workers from Iraq. It's our honor and privilege to welcome sir to give us some insights in terms of how sustainable infrastructure is going to be the reason for both India and the world's growth. Sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be amongst you and all those who were visiting India for the first time. A very, very warm welcome to each one. It's a country with great vibrancy. It's a country with great amount of diversity, and this diversity is the strength of India. So with these words, let me talk about infrastructure, and that to sustainable infrastructure. And I'll touch upon what my present portfolios are in terms of roads, highways and transport, as well as civil aviation. When we talk of infrastructure, that is an element that drives all the economy. Because infrastructure of any type, be it roads, be it airports, be it houses, be it railways, anything if you take, it connects you to 200 to 300 different industries. And that is what works as an economic driver. And if we take India, today, we are the 5th largest economy in the world. We are at the rate at which we are going, that is 6.5% growth rate that we have. We feel that very soon we should actually jump up. And our aim is that by the time we complete 100 years of our independence, 2047, we should be part of the developed country group. That's the aim that we have created for ourselves, which means a great amount of work on infrastructure. Till the time you don't have good roads, till the time you don't have good housing, till the time you don't cater for power for them, till the time you don't cater for water for them, till the time you don't cater for transportation from one place to another, and you don't cater for transportation which will help your economic activity, you are not going to go anywhere. And that is why infrastructure occupies a pivotal role in the growth of economy as well as the country. We also have another ingredient where India is concerned, and that is a vibrant democracy. It helps us a great deal in ensuring that things move and things do well. Let me give you one statistic. In the last 9 years, I'm talking of, because before that, one was in a different mode altogether, wearing uniform. So, last 9 years, the amount of FDI that has come to India has broken a record every year. And what is good about these investments are coming, there are 132 countries of the world which trust us in giving this FDI. 132. And these 132 countries have invested not in one field, they've invested in 61 different sectors in India. And what is even more interesting is they have invested in 31 states and union territories of India. Look at the breadth of it and look at the number of countries who are involved. And to top it all, more than 80% of these investments have come through normal route. No rule changes have been made. Everything is as it is, and yet the investments have come, and it is still coming and growing. Shows the trust a large number of countries have in India in terms of how their money will grow in India. And this money will grow because of the economic activity that is taking place in India. This money will grow because of the infrastructural development that is taking place in India. Let me also put across to you that almost every day there is a movement from rural areas to urban areas of approximately 30 people. Now these 30 people who move, at a point of time, they'll require housing, they'll require water, they'll require transportation, they'll require various other things, which means infrastructure has to be taken care of. And infrastructure which does not depend on sustainable features is not going to carry you very far. And therefore, there's a great amount of effort that we are making in ensuring that all that we are doing depends on sustainable means which can be utilized. We are looking at new things that we can use for making our roads, better roads, but which are sustainable, which are not emitting the type of carbon that is emitted or used in normal roads. We are looking at fuels which are green. We are looking at power which is green. And we are looking at how we can ensure that water can be brought to each and every corner and every rural household, which is potable, which is drinkable, and which is of high quality. Now, these are the challenges that one faces when you are looking at sustainable infrastructure. Until the time, like I said, if we don't have sustainable infrastructure, we have a problem. We are looking at means of transportation which will have a total green factor in it. Whether it is ethanol, whether it is hydrogen, whether it is use of electric vehicles, a mixture of all these is what is going on in India. And our mission hydrogen is progressing extremely well. We are also looking at what can be replacement for lithium. Because today in the world, lithium gets controlled by some people. And therefore, there is a need for all of us to break free of that stranglehold, find our own means. So there is a lot that is being done in terms of biofuels in India as a sustainable feature. And this biofuel is going to come from the farmers, from the fields. And therefore, a slogan that we have given is that farmer will not only be a food provider, but also will be a fuel provider to India. and there is a great amount of work that is taking place in this field. Ethanol is only one part. We are looking at what you can produce as PNG or utilization of methane in various forms. All this is ultimately giving you a sustainable feature in terms of what we use as fuels. We have already tried out as a pilot project a mixture of blending of ethanol with aviation turbine fuel to fly a normal aircraft. Successful. No problem so far. Now to scale it up is what we are now working on, so that we can scale it up and save the expenditures that go on in fossil fuels. Our ultimate aim is that we should break away from fossil fuels, depend more on whatever is the green alternatives that are available, so that your transportation becomes sustainable. The other advantage that sustainability gives is that if you use EVs or if you use any other mode for transportation, that also ensures that your logistic costs come down. And if the logistic costs come down, it means things will be better for your economy. So there is a great amount of work that is going on, and I'm quite sure in each one of your countries, same is the situation where we all are struggling to ensure that our transportation, our fuel, our infrastructure becomes sustainable, uses everything which is green, and we set the targets for net zero for carbon emissions, so that the world becomes better, the transportation becomes better, the infrastructure becomes better, and we are all able to reap the benefit. Let me also talk about the two departments that I look at, as well as few other things that we have done. Now, where the infrastructure is concerned, under the Prime Minister's leadership, we have got a national master plan for infrastructure called Gati Shakti. It's a master plan for almost $1.3 trillion, which uses various means to ensure that all departments of the government work as a whole of government for this master plan that has been created. And it is digitized, so anybody who has to deal with it knows as to which layer in which he has to work, what is his part in it, so that the whole various departments which are part of this infrastructure plan can work together and produce the results in a faster time frame without any obstruction. We also ensure that besides the national investment plan that we have, or the infrastructure plan that we have a national infrastructure pipeline combined with initiatives like Make in India or our productivity-linked incentives. Productivity-linked incentives have helped the startups that we have. And just as a statistical aside that I'll give you, when we started with startups sometime in 2015, we had just 428 registered startups. And I'm happy to tell you that today we are number 3 in the number of startups that are classified as unicorns. We are number 2 in the startups that are already working, and we are number 1 where startup every day is concerned. So we are concentrating on using the young minds to do well, and we incentivize them in terms of whatever they produce. If it is productivity-linked incentive, they're able to produce much more and reap the benefit for themselves and for the country. Where our road network is concerned, We have the third largest network of roads in the country, approximately 6.5 million kilometers. 2.7% of this is national highways. And interestingly, it is this 2.7% which carries 40% of load. They are better highways, they are better expressways, and it ensures that time is cut down from place A to B when you move from one place to another. We also have catered for multimodal logistic parks and hubs where various modes of transportation can weld in, and the shifting of from one mode to another can take place easily. There are 35 of them which are under construction at the moment, and very soon they'll be ready so that they can ease the national infrastructure plan. It'll ease the type of transportation that takes place, and it'll cut down the logistic cost that happens. In addition, there is a great amount of research that is going on in ensuring the type of material that goes into the roads. What is it that we can use which will leave least carbon footprint? What is it that we can use by ensuring that things are better? For example, bitumen that we use, which actually comes from petroleum products, we have been able to produce bitumen, and we are using it, which comes from rice husk. Now, don't ask me how it is produced. It's a simple process. But we are using this bitumen along with the other bitumen, and it is ensuring that the roads remain in good condition. So it is something which is also available to you to make yourself in the country. If you are growing rice or paddy, the rice husk can be used for this. Rice husk can also be used for making ethanol, along with what you do with the molasses and other things which you use for making ethanol, including bamboo. There's a particular variety of bamboo that can also be used for making ethanol. So we are exploring all these alternatives that are available, which will give us the benefit of making things better. Where aviation is concerned, I recounted to you what we did as a pilot project of blending ethanol with aviation turbine fuel. We have been able to go at a faster speed where constructions are concerned. If I look at roads, I can tell you today that we have already created a record for ourselves by doing 100 lane kilometers in 100 hours. I think it is a good way to take forward. It gives us speed to construct the type of infrastructure that we are looking at. Similarly, we have also built as many airports that we had before 2014. We had 74 before 2014. We have made 74 in these last 9 months. Now, we are also looking at 50 more, which will ensure that the connectivity in India, especially the regional connectivity, becomes better, and we are able to create hubs and spokes by utilizing small aircrafts which could be electric one day, because that is another field that is growing, and shorter distances, you bring them to the hub. From there, the next plane, larger plane, can take them off to whatever tier A city that exists. Our effort is green energy, where power is concerned. Solar power, we are going in a big way. We are today aiming to become leaders in this field. We are looking at fuels which are green. Our hydrogen mission and blending of ethanol, etc., is taking place. In fact, we have been able to find that it is possible for ethanol to give the same calorific value as petrol or diesel. So that makes a difference. Similarly, where the material for roads is concerned, we are looking at all possible green alternatives that are available so that our road infrastructure becomes better. Where housing is concerned, we are looking at what is it that can add on to greening the construction process itself so that whatever comes up uses only green material and makes it better. There is a company in India that is making large panels which has got thermocol, which has got concrete, which has got some other ingredients which are able to make the panel lighter so that if you want to make a house in a quicker frame of time, it can be made by putting those panels together. And it ensures that it maintains the climate control because it gives that quality because of the presence of thermocol in it. So there is a vast amount of work that is being done in these fields, and I'm sure when we share with you your ideas, ultimately we will be able to ensure that things are then available to make the world a better place to live. With these words, thank you very much. Jai Hind.
So we would have time probably just for a question because sir is, I think, running late for his next appointment and our delay kind of has held him back here. So if there's anybody who's got a question for him, it would be great to stand up immediately and just come forward, please. If not, sir, I have a question for you. You've been in the armed forces where decisions are taken at a bat of an eyelid, and there is a long-term vision in terms of what is required. When we talk of sustainable infrastructure, it requires multiple policy changes. It requires consistency over probably decades to actually make that happen. In a political system like ours, where that is not cast in stone, how is it that what we are doing today will continue and endure so that the future generation can bear its fruits?
See, when you look ahead and make policies, you ensure that these policies will sustain. And you build measures in it where it is difficult for anybody to change the system. For example, when you look at the Gati Shakti program, it's all digital. All ministries are plugged into it. And today most of the work is being done digitally. Now, if you want to change it, you'll slow down the whole process. And then things will not come up because the type of information that is rooted in this program will not be available. So, willy-nilly, you'll end up using it and ensuring that things continue at that pace in which it has been started.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you've given us a wonderful insight into how infrastructure that drives economic development at the same time being mindful of environmental protection is required not just for the future growth, but for the future generation to thrive. So,
thank you very much, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. We're just going to present the General with a gift. He's pressed for time, so join me in thanking you.